Welcome back to the channel. Warhammer Man back in the studio, and you may have already seen, but there is a new game available very soon from Games Workshop, and it is the new version of Warhammer Quest. Looks awesome. Here's the official preview with everything in the box. We can kind of go over it and discuss it. Here we go. So yeah, that's the Warhammer Quest Cursed City. Looks very cool overall. Definitely some impressive models in there. Let's just kind of take a look at what we've got here. It basically goes through and shows, here's our 8 explorers. This is like the witch hunter, demon hunter, vampire hunter type dude. He was already previewed. Very nice looking model in my opinion. Be real cool for a lot of different stuff. He's got like the stake gun, the hammer, obviously all the stakes, sword and everything. Could be cool for like D&D miniature as well. This guy is sort of looking like Jonas Drake from Blackstone Fortress. Once again, very cool model. He's got like that big long sword back there. Got a nice cool pistol, and then obviously like some heavy armor. Very good detail. Definitely looking forward to painting this dude up. He looks awesome. Once again, you could use him for a plethora of different things. Then we have like this little wizard sorceress chick. Once again, very cool model. I believe she is like a healer, from what I understand. Wizard slash healer, so maybe like more of like a cleric type model. Pretty cool overall. Have to see it in person. Not quite sure about what's going on with the back there, but definitely has like the the look of the oh man, I can't think of what they're called now. Like the knights. I can't even think of the name, but like these little like drape things coming down here and everything. Definitely has like that look to them. And then this is, I think, probably the best model in the entire set. This is like your wood elf looking like ranger slash archer. Very cool. I like the horns. I like the hair. I like the bow. The active stance and everything. I think this is probably the best model out of the set. Very impressive. And then this chick is a basically like straight up knight, double-handed longsword. Cool little like eagle mane face skull thing going on there. Once again, very cool, heavily armored. Man, for the life of me, I can't think of what they're called right now, but she's clearly one of those knights from that set too. It's, oh man, I can't. Whatever it is, it's like the main golden guys that come with like the box set for Warhammer. I honestly just cannot think of it right now. I'm drawing a blank. And then this guy is sort of evil looking, but I guess he's like a wizard. From what I understand, he was like affiliated initially with the people that turned evil. So he's kind of got like a little bit of like a necromancer or like evil looking vibe to him. I'm not sure if that's an actual face or a mask or whatever, just by how it's painted and the complexion. But once again, very cool model. Definitely could do well for like a wizard or like dark wizard or a necromancer type character. Great model. Then we've got Dwarf. This time a little different. Typically, these dwarves are like the axe-wielding berserker type guys. This one is like a little bit of like the mechanical looking kind of thing. I like that he's got like the cool spear gun with like the line to reel stuff in. So I'm assuming he's going to have some cool rules where basically if he like hits somebody, this thing like sticks into him and then he can drag them towards him. He's also got some melee action as well, but definitely like the steampunk looking dwarf. Just a little something different. I kind of had something kind of like that in the second Warhammer Quest game. But overall, very cool. I'm sure eventually they're gonna have like expansions too, where they add in all kinds of guys. So if you like the more like battle rager type, like regular berserker dwarf, I'm sure he's coming as well. So I wouldn't worry about it for now. And then we've got an ogre, definitely a great addition. Overall, this dude is a great looking model. I like the dynamic pose of him in comparison to like the typical Warhammer ogres are like very like two-dimensional and like stiff. He's got like much more of like the Blood Bowl, like active, like kind of running forward or like swinging his mace. Very cool model. Definitely going to be a big boy and fun to use in the game, I'm sure. It looks like it's basically the same rules and everything as the previous Warhammer Quest games, so it's going to be really fun. Definitely cool to like bring in new players with, and obviously models like this are going to help to entice people that have never played before. So there was 8 total, characters or good guys. I'm assuming it's going to be like pick 4 and play with those 4 through the game. It's essentially like 4-player game. You could play down to like 2 players, I imagine. And have like each player control 2, or I guess if you don't have any friends or whatever, you could probably just play all of them together. That's one cool thing about the dynamic of like how Blackstone Fortress was, is you rolled on like a chart basically, or looked on like a chart and it told you what the bad guys do, so that like you could control the bad guys and the good guys without being like overly biased. So all right, and then on to the bad guys. This is the overall big bad leader, and he is an ogre, actually. He doesn't look that big in this picture, but I'm assuming it's just because he's set back. But this is actually like an ogre, like overlord type dude. So he is, I think, like a vampire or zombie type ogre or whatever, but obviously has like the 2-headed wolf pelt, which is part of like the lore for the game. I haven't seen like all of it yet, but I know like the eagle and the 2-headed wolf are like the 2 houses, I think, that like clash. Oh, and he kind of has like that Valhalla look, like that Icelandic looking feel to him. So definitely glad to see some cool looking rat swarms come back. It's been a while since they made any rat swarms, and the old ones are absolutely horrible. These ones look pretty good overall. I like that they got some big rats, some little rats. And then this dude is pretty cool. He's kind of like the like necromancer looking main guy for them. I think he's sort of like a beastmaster from what I understand. He's obviously got like the raven going on there and everything. But I believe he's like a spellcaster. You can see in the background too some of the other cool models. So this is one of the main ogre guys, like Bodyguards. He's got like 2 of these dudes, very similar in looks, but they've got like these big old glaives. And again, they have like that kind of like Valhalla looking kind of feel to them. Very nice looking models. I like them. Definitely looking forward to painting up this set. And then obviously everybody's seen like the preview for the skeletons. This is like the leader of the skeletons. I think you get like 10 or 12 of them in the set or whatever. There's like a banner bearer, this leader guy, and then like 4 generic ones, and then a copy of each of those generic ones. A couple little options to like switch out their heads and stuff, but very nice looking skeletons. I'm loving like the robes and the overall like dynamic poses of them. I like the armor look and everything. It's going to fit very nicely into like the existing range. And then this is kind of give you the feel of the zombies. They all sort of have like the, staked in their back, like kind of like tombstone or like decorative bits. So basically, a little different spin to like the regular zombies. If you didn't like them, I'm sure you could take off a little bit of that stuff and kind of like make them look a little more like traditional. But I do like that like the roots are kind of like growing through him, and he's kind of like held in place by like the little tree stump and like the little stake like through his chest there. They all kind of have that look. And again, I think you get like, I believe it's like 8 or 10 of them, and it's like 2 of each, with some small little options to make them look different, I believe, as well. And then this guy is sort of, I think there's like 3 of these in the set, all kind of different. I like the pose on them, very cool looking and everything. Especially in a game where there's no like actual terrain comes with it. It's cool to have like the little pillar and the little bit of like, depth to everything. Not sure exactly what's going on here. Clearly some sort of mesh between like kind of like an Ungor looking guy, like a little beastman, and a vampire. Very cool. Definitely looking forward to the rules and playing through the game. And then this guy is one of the big bads. I think he's like the resurrector, like kind of gravedigger dude. You can see he's sort of like bringing one of the zombies back to life, and again, like the roots growing through like his body or whatever. He definitely has like that like horror movie kind of like Resident Evil look to him. Awesome model. Very, very, very pleased with the models. And then here is the main big bad Ogre Lord. Again, it's like the double-headed wood cloak. I'm assuming he kills that double-headed wolf and like, you know, takes over the town. From what I understand, the plot is basically that this town like falls under attack. These guys show up, save the town, and then turn the town like evil. And then the heroes have to like come and get vengeance on the town that has like once was good but now is evil. But yeah, we can get like, you know, they've obviously released all the models and everything, so you can get like the full look at them. But I think the only thing they really don't show off is like the bat swarms, which again, you have like a big bat and then like smaller and medium looking bats. Very cool. There's another one of those like little Ungor looking like beastmen, vampires. A couple more like the skeletons. You can see that's like the other ogre bodyguard in the back. You get like the game tiles, which are like the, you know, very nice looking, I'm assuming double-sided tiles, so you have tons of rooms and gameplay and everything. You get a nice set of dice. You get your rule books, and then I think it's like 40-something models. Very, very nice looking overall. Definitely going to be a nice value. I would expect it to be right around that like 130 to 175 range. I would say for this, with how much comes in it, Blackstone Fortress was 150, so I would say it's probably going to be like 150 to like 200. My guess is probably around like 170, you know, USD. So we'll see. I don't think they've officially released the prices yet or the actual release date, but very cool. That's the other third one of those little vampire looking dudes. Let's go back to that really quick. That's our ogre. That's the elf. That's the main ogre. You can kind of get the size a little bit more because this is like a super dynamic pose, like jumping off something, and this dude's like lumbering like way overhead. And then again, obviously the dwarf doesn't give you like a great size comparison, but very cool overall. There's also some cool looking objectives. You can't really see it that well in this picture, but I think there was like 3 or 5 objectives, all different, all pretty cool. There's another one of them. It's like the hangman pointing. Very cool. Some like the basic skeletons. And then there's that other vampire, the hunter. It's going to be a really nice set. I'm really looking forward to this. Looking forward to painting it up. I like that all the models are basically like original. We've never really seen anything like the majority of these models. Obviously, like skeletons and zombies are pretty typical, but you know the ones that they have for like fantasy or Sigmar at this point in time are like, I don't even know. I think most of those models are like 10, 20, maybe even more years old than that. And then, you know, we've never seen anything like the ogres, the vampires. All the heroes are pretty unique overall. There's a nice little better picture of the bats, the like Beastmaster looking dude. That's another one of the objectives. It's like a raven holding the key. Yeah, very, very cool. Here's a couple more of the zombies kind of shown off there. You can see they all have like those little staked in bits like on their backs and everything. That's just part of, at first I thought that was a train piece, but that's just part of the base of that one vampire jumping. And the dice look the same as the dynamic for Warhammer. So you'll have like your, for the regular quest or Blackstone Fortress, you'll have like your regular like, you know, basically like action economy. Each guy has like 3 or 4 dice. You roll at the beginning of each turn, and then based on what you roll 1 through 6 will allow you to use like different actions that are specific to that guy. And then typically like once you get inspired, you flip over your card and you have like additional better actions and skills and stuff available. And then each of the bad guys has like a card essentially that tells them what they would do if they can see a guy, if they're too far to reach a guy. It basically gives them like set actions that they have to do. And then obviously like the dice rolls to like hit and miss. It'll tell you like, you know, roll the 6-sided die, the 8-sided die, the 12-sided die, and then each one has a certain number of like hits and critical hits on the die, and then the rest of the sides are like blank, and you know, then they have like a movement characteristic, etc. So the dynamic in the gameplay is like super simple, very smooth, very fun, and it allows you to essentially play from like 2 to basically 5 players, because you can have somebody play just as the bad guys, and then you could essentially have like, you know, 2 players with 2 heroes each, and then also playing with the bad guys like non-bias against themselves. So, oh, and then these guys too. This is like the huge like bat looking, like it's like a were bat basically. You can see obviously based on the hero how big that thing is. I want to say you get 2 of these also. Um, Different poses. So I think the only duplicate poses in the whole set are the zombies and the skeletons. Each have a duplicate. So they did real well on the diversity, the sprues, the overall models. The game tiles are very cool, very colorful. You know, they have like the little door pieces in there as well. So if you already have like old pieces like door sets and everything, some of the other games, you can obviously add that in, some of the terrain pieces. It looks like this is overall going to be like very compatible with your range. And then if you already play Sigmar, you should be able to use basically like this whole undead horde as like the starting jumping off point for an army or adding on to an existing army in Sigmar as well. So, and you kind of see what I was saying about the dice there. They have like the 2 and the single on them. That's like the regular and the crit. So like on the regular 6-sided die, there's like 1 regular hit and 1 critical hit. And then like on the 8-sided and 12-sided die, there's more of the regulars and the crits. So you have a higher percentage chance if you're using one of the like better dice. So like you might have like 2 each on this one, and there's 8 total sides. So you have like a 50% chance. On this one, you have a 33% chance because there's a regular hit and a critical hit, and then a bunch of blanks. And then on the 12-sided die, I want to say there's going to be like, I want to say, man, it's got to be a 10-sided die because that would make there being a 60% chance because there would be like 3 regulars and 3 crits on that one, 2 regulars and 2 crits on that one, 1 regular and 1 crit on that one. So you have a 6-sided, a 8-sided, and then a 10-sided die. So, but yeah, overall, very nice set. It's going to be a good value regardless, even if it comes in at $200. Most people can get at least a 10% discount off, if not 20. And then the amount of models that you get, the actual gameplay, and then I'm assuming down the line you'll get, just like Blackstone Fortress, they'll put out a bunch of expansions as the game goes for between like 50 and $75 with extra models, extra rules, extra tiles, extra treasure, whatnot. But I'm a huge fan of these games. They're actually like a great precursor or like alternative to Dungeons and Dragons for people that want like a little more of a structured game or just like an entry level into like that fantasy kind of questing thing. So very happy with the set overall. Looks like it's going to be awesome. I'm extremely excited for it. I was extremely excited for it when I heard about it. I love the old like Hero Quest games. I love like obviously like the fantasy Warhammer Quest games, and then the expansion as well. And then Blackstone Fortress was an absolute knockout. We played through that as well and had a great time playing that. And I think this is going to be just as good, if not better. So, well, there you have it, guys. Warhammer Man Studios. We got the Warhammer Quest, Cursed City. I'll be back with an update once I hear about release date and everything and pricing. But in the meantime, take it easy, and I'm out of here.